Good morning, friends. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to Yoga as Healing today. Grab yourself some coffee. Just kidding. Well, you could have coffee if you want, or tea. Water, no ice. What we do need, and this will be helpful, is a blanket, a strap, and a block. So if you have those things, go ahead and grab them. If you don't, I do my best to always give options so that if you don't have props, you don't say, oh, I can't do this video, I turn it off. Nope, just everything's figure outable. We got this, because today we are talking about adaptability and remembering how to just go with the flow a little bit more. Good morning. How are you? So I'm going to turn us around, get us started. So you can see my blocks there, and then blanket, and then a strap would be great if you have one. And again, if you don't have one, don't worry, we'll give alternatives. Okay? All right. So let's find a nice easy seat. And I'm going to start off by my husband and I, he was walking the dog last night, and we've been complaining about our yard looking a little dry because of the weather. And some of the yards, they're just so lush. And we're like, what do they do to their grass? I don't even know what they're doing to the grass. But this one particular neighbor, his grass is a little drier too. But my husband was kind of complaining and about his own. We are talking about fertilizing grass, just to be clear. And we were talking about the grass, and the neighbor was like, yeah. And his grass, mind you, is pretty dry as well. And he was like, if I fertilize it and I do things to it, then it's not going to become adaptable. And so I just leave it. It's going to be fine. I'm just going to give it time. It's going to be fine. And I just thought, you could take that a lot of different ways. Those of you that are landscapers and know about grass, you're probably like, whatever, it's not going to fix itself. But it didn't matter. Like, what was so refreshing about it was his attitude about it, of just this like adaptability to just, what is will be, right? What is will be. And so what if we could just do that a little bit more in our life? And I think what it comes down to a lot of times is about being accepting. And now we're not just talking about grass, right? It's being accepting of what the moment is bringing us. And it's, of course, piece of cake when the moment is like right up our alley, what we want. Very difficult when the moment is challenging to just say, this is what is, okay? And there's a joke in my family that I always say, don't fight the isness, because there are things that just are, like a red light. It just is. We're late. We just got a red light. Well, don't fight the isness. We're at the red light unless you're going to turn right and try to go around. So we're going to work a little bit today with both adaptability, just feeling the ways in which our body moves adaptively, and also noticing the other element of just opening up. So let's close the eyes. And acceptance, adaptability and acceptance. Those will be our two kind of focal points. So close your eyes. Sit up nice and tall, and I want you to lean a little bit forward and begin to lean a little bit back. And notice, and maybe even a little bit side to side, try to find that spot where you feel like you're sitting a little bit more center, where you're not leaning forward, which we typically are doing. You're not leaning back. That's less typical for a lot of us, unless we're really tight, and then we do kind of slump asana. So try to get the heart lifting up. Let the elbows bend so you're not even overworking through the arms and the shoulders. And there's as though there's a string from the base of the spine up through the crown, through your soft palate, helping to lengthen you up. it's quite difficult a lot of times for us to give something time, like he was referring to giving his grass time. We want things so quickly, so immediately. We want to see a result instantaneously, practically. But can we come back to a space where we practice being in the present moment? The present moment is the only moment, and it's a practice, right? To become adaptable, to live in this moment and not project constantly into the future or perseverate over the past, but to be in this moment. Let's bring the hands together in front of our heart. Take a moment and set your intention. Why do you practice, right? If we think about at the heart of like, why do you practice? And maybe you literally answer that for us later after you practice today. I want you to write it for us. Like, why do you practice? Kind of often comes down to one of two things: freedom, right? Feeling more free, but also for change, for growth. That's that adaptability. And the freedom is in the acceptance. Nice, and then let your chin bow towards your chest. Let your hands come under your legs. Let's start with some pranayama. I'm going to switch my legs. And again, if sitting down is not comfortable for you, you can always be in a chair. Fold your index and your middle finger in, your ring finger and pinky are out, and your thumb is out. And you're going to bring your right thumb to your right nostril, your ring finger to your left nostril. Just have them kind of hovering on the nostril. They're not closing anything off yet. And just take a nice natural breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Go ahead and close your right and inhale left. Close the left, slight pause, and then exhale right. Slight pause after you exhale, and then inhale, same side now. Close both, pause slightly, and then exhale left. Same side, gentle pause, and then re-inhale on left. Close left, exhale right. So if it's comfortable, you're adding in those pauses. Feel your body begin to drink in the breath. And it really is kind of like a slow drink through that one side. Noticing the breath feel like it's almost moving back toward the midbrain. As you breathe in the left or the right side, can you feel energy on the opposite side of the body? So if you're breathing in left, can you notice sensation on the right side of your body? And vice versa. This is such a grounding breath. The next time you exhale out the right, that'll complete the cycle. So Once you've finished, you can let your hands just gently rest in your lap. Palms up or palms down. Grab a Kleenex if you need it. Very good. Now you can open your eyes if they're closed. You can stay seated on your blanket if you'd like. I'm going to take mine out for right now. And bring the soles of your feet together. Now, this doesn't need to be your biggest Baddha Konasana. They can be a little further away. I'm going to move mine out just a little bit, but I'm going to hold on to the ankles. So you can hold on to the ankles. Now, a blanket for a lot of us, it's going to be helpful here to still have that. You might not need it as high, but still under those sit bones is helpful here. So inhale, lift your heart, get your spine straight, almost noticing a little bit of the arch coming into your back like a cobra, up dog. Good. And then exhale, continue to hold those ankles and round your back. Let your head drop. Good. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, open. Exhale. Might notice some vata releasing, some snap, crackle, pops. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Now we're going to make a circle. So stay in the round. So you're leaning back. Take your ribs to the right. Bring your heart forward. Take your ribs to the left. And then come back into the arch. Right, forward, left, and down. So today, yogis, it's a full moon. It is the harvest moon, the moon that allowed the Native Americans to work a little later in the evening. Good, now switch the direction. Round and round. So we will do today just a little bit of a chandra namaskar. So Surya namaskar, Surya is sun, and chandra is moon. So we'll do a chandra namaskar variation. Good. And then you're going to come back up to center. All right. Take your right leg, extend it out. Bring your left leg in. Just warm up the hamstrings here a little bit and the hips. Again, a little height underneath the sitting bones is good here. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale, take your right hand to the inside of your right leg. Stretch your left arm up and over as you exhale. Good. Now inhale, cactus your arm. And I like to brace my bottom arm just slightly against that inner leg. Inhale, cactus your arm. And then exhale. You don't need to touch all the way down, but just start to turn the torso towards the floor. Inhale, cactus the arm. Open the chest. Gently nudge your inner right elbow against the right leg and exhale. So we're bending the arm, straightening the arm. Inhale, both sitting bones are staying down. The left lung really opening here. And then exhale, we're closing a little bit, but it's like we're opening the back of the lung. So we open the front of the lung. Inhale. A little twist here, open twist variation. And then exhale, back lung. And then inhale, reach up through that left arm. Plant your left hand behind you. Come onto your left shin. Push the sole of your right foot to the floor. And Parigasana variation, gate pose. Hug that left shoulder in towards the spine. You can let the head gaze towards your right palm. Open the front of the hips. Stretching the opposite side body. Push into the right foot. Get longer from right foot to right fingertips. Good. And then exhale. Peel it back down. Cross right shin in front of left shin. Inhale. Both arms reach up towards the sky. And then exhale. Interlace your hands behind your back. Now if you can't, here's where your strap. You could hold your strap behind you if you need to. And then we're going to exhale. Forward fold. Now, if your forehead doesn't come to the floor, please do grab, if you have one, a block.
Let your knuckles move back down towards your glutes a little bit. Draw your shoulders out of the ears a little bit more. And then try to re-extend the hands up and over again, keeping a little bit more space between the bottom of the skull and the top of the shoulders. And if you like to massage along the forehead, you can roll a little bit side to side. Release the fingertips down towards the floor. Push into the hands. Inhale, rise, come all the way back up. Very good. Right leg's going to bend in now. Left leg's going to go straight. Grab your blanket if you need it. Inhale. And you may also want your blanket if your knee is uncomfortable here, just to support the leg, okay? Inhale, reach both arms up. And then exhale, left hand down inside the leg. So we're using it you can see how I'm just a little bit of a bend to help me get a little bit more space into that back right side. We'll cactus the arm as we breathe in, opening right lung, front of right lung. And then exhale, opening the back of the lung. Now you're reaching the arm out and straight. Inhale, open. Oh my goodness, this does feel good, doesn't it? Exhale, fold. Any tempo. If you prefer not to flow, you just want to hold one or the other, yes, please do. For me, this is like a little flossing here, both in the shoulder blade, also in the waistline. Let's do one more. Inhale. Reach, reach, reach. Draw that elbow back, back, back. Exhale. Inhale, reach up through right arm. Take the right hand behind you, spin the sole of your foot to the floor, and push up onto that right shin. Stretch your left arm up and over. Hug the bottom shoulder blade in towards the spine. Push into the left foot. Left leg is straight. Tailbone moving forward. Good. Last breath. And then as you exhale, sit all the way back down. Now that left leg, it's going to come in front. Sukhasana, you're crossing right at mid-shin. If you're really open, you could always take a double pigeon here. My hips, they need a little more finessing. All right, take your hands behind you. You're going to take your other index finger, your second favorite one, on top. Push down into the knuckles to lift your sternum. And then exhale again. Grab the block if you need it. Forward fold. Let the knuckles come back down towards your hips a little bit. Draw the shoulders out of the ears and then re-extend the arms up and over. Leaning a little bit left and right, just rolling along the third eye. It's very nice here to use a block to start. Just let those hips ease in if you're a little tighter here. This isn't the chandra namaskar yet. Okay, let the hands come down next to your outer knees and feet and inhale. Press your way up. Very good. And now exhale, front of the mat. If you're not there, front of the mat. Tabletop position. Good. Spread the fingers. Turn the eye of the elbow a little bit more forward. And then inhale, drop the belly. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, round the back like a crescent moon and push toward a child's pose. If your knees won't allow you to go back, just kind of round just a little ways back. You don't need to go all the way. Let's come back into the arch. Move the heart forward. Inhale, curl into cow. Exhale, round into cat, and then push through the hands slow all the way back towards child's pose. Again, inhale. Feeling the adaptability of the body. Exhale. and how your body is actually accepting of you beginning to control your own breathing pattern. Inhale. Isn't that cool that it lets you do that? And yet your body's adaptable, that when you forget to breathe, exhale, it's got your back and it breathes for you. As does our food digest. Inhale, and our heart beats and our systems take in and eliminate. Last time, breathing in. Exhale. Ujjayi breath. Pause in your child's pose. You can do this from puppy as well so that your knees don't have to be back in this deep flexion. Walk your hands over to the right. Take your left hand, if you like, place it on top of your right. Take another breath, breathing in. Exhale, letting it go. Lift up, breathe in. Exhale, walk your hands over to the left. Now right hand going to lay on top of left. Allow the outer right shoulder to gently surrender towards the floor. And we come back to center. Inhale. Exhale here. Lift up all fours, breathe in. And either puppy pose or downward facing dog, yogis. Tuck your toes. Please be careful in your shoulders if you're working and healing through a shoulder injury. Or if down dog is just too much. I don't put a ton of them in our healing practices, but there's going to be a few today. So you have permission to always have the knees down and take what we call half dog, okay? Take one more breath here. Breathe in. Exhale, let it go. And then we're going to come to a forward bend at the top of the mat. So from down dog, begin to walk your feet forward. From puppy pose, one foot forward, and then your other foot forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, soft bend in your knees. Exhale, fold forward and bow. Continue to keep the bend in the knees. Let's roll it up vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming all the way up to standing, rolling the head of the shoulders back. Gaze forward. Okay. You're at the top of your mat. So we're going to do a chandra namaskar variation, very gentle. Modify anything that you need to. Okay. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, bend the knees, hands through your heart, forward fold. Inhale, half high, hands can be on shins here. Just be mindful of the knees, don't hyperextend. And then exhale, our right foot's going to go back into a lunge. Good. Now, drop the back knee just for a breath, okay? Just for a breath. So you probably don't need padding. You can just go a little lighter. Inhale, lift your heart. Good. And then exhale, lift the back knee, round your back. Your front leg, it's not going to go all the way straight, but it's going to straighten a little bit. And then rebend into the lunge, but now keep the back knee up. Inhale. Right hand's going to stay down, and our left arm is going to go into a twist. Take an extra breath here. And the top hand is going to come down. Inhale inside that front foot. And now exhale all 10 toes. Walking to the right, will turn towards the long edge of your mat. Pop up on your fingertips and walk them out a little bit under so they're in front of your shoulders. And then exhale, bend your right knee and bow your head. So your arms are fairly straight. Good. And then inhale, straighten the right leg. And exhale, bend left. Let's just go a couple times side to side. So if you like, you could actually walk your right hand over to the right as you bend that right knee. You could even bend the elbows a little bit if that feels good, or you can keep the arms straight. The focus here is on a straight spine and getting into the groin. Let's go one more each way. So keep the groins back. The movement is hinging from the hip crease. And the spine is staying straight. Inhale here. And now right hand right under your chest. Exhale, left arm's going to go up towards the sky. Full moon. Now if it bothers your neck, just look down here. You can look straight ahead as well. Top hand to the earth. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back towards that left foot into a lunge. Good. Inhale. And then down dog. Front foot steps to the back foot. Breath in. Breath out. Right foot forward in between the hands. Right foot forward in between the hands. Back knee is going to drop down. So if the foot doesn't go there, just come onto the knees, step the foot up, and then hold it and bring it through. Okay, inhale. On fingertips, gaze forward. Oh, feels good. And then round the back, lift your back knee. Front leg doesn't need to go straight, still a little bit bent. Inhale, now bend back into the lunge, but the back knee is staying lifted this time. And then this time, left hand is going up. Left hand is down, right arm is going up. Hug the back shin in. We're getting to stay an extra breath here. Top hand down inside that front leg. Walk now left. So now we're going the other way. All 10 toes face the long edge of your mat. Inhale. And then walk the hands out. Exhale. Bend your left knee. Inhale. Bend your right leg. And you're going side to side 2 more times each way. So you can move the arms if you like. And because we're going both directions, I'm going to end up eventually always facing away from you. So we'll just kind of let that happen on this side. Last time. Now come back to center. Inhale, left hand's under your chest. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. Looking down, forward, or up. Top hand down, breathe in. Turn your right toes back to the front of your mat. Inhale, take a breath here in your lunge. And now we're going to step forward, bend your back leg and push off. Uttanasana. Very good. Inhale, half high. Exhale, forward fold. Soft bend in your knees, roll it up, roll it up. Shoulders back. And exhale, arms are just by your sides. Good. Let's repeat again. We're going to change it just a little bit. And now we're going to make a full circle here. Here we go. Inhale, arms reach up. And bend the knees, hands through your heart, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left foot steps back first this time. All right, back knee goes down. Inhale, stay on the fingertips. Lift your chest. Inhale. And we're going to take an Ardha Hanuman this time. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Keep your right hand down. Reach your left arm forward, just straight out from the left shoulder. And then exhale, slice it across so it comes to the outside of that front leg. And you've got a little twist here. Now stay an extra breath. Breathe in. If you want a little more, rotate the outer edge of your right foot toward or to the floor. Bring the right toes, if they're turned, bring them back up. Walk the left hand around. Inhale, bend back into your lunge. Lift your back knee up. And then easy twist. Right arm to sky. Exhale. Inhale here. Top hand down. Walk to the left. Wide-legged straddle. Inhale, wide-legged straddle.
Just one time, this time bend right knee, exhale. Inhale, straighten right leg. Exhale, bend left leg. Inhale, right hand under your chest. Exhale, left arm to the sky. Inhale, extra breath. Exhale, top hand comes down. Now walk to the back of your mat. So your left toes are at the back of your mat. Good. Take an inhale. And then exhale, down dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Left foot forward in between the hands. Left foot forward, back knee drops down. Remember, you can always modify that transition. Just come to the knees, hold the ankle, bring it through. Inhale, lift the chest, back knee is down. Stay on the fingertips. Exhale, Ardha Hanuman. Straighten the front leg, draw the hips back. Reach the right arm forward, right out of the shoulder, thumb up towards the sky. And then exhale like a blade. You're going to bring it across. Hand to the outside. Now you can stay here. You might need your block here. It's pretty intense. You can also turn the outer edge of the foot towards the floor, staying an extra breath. Inhale. Exhale. So try and move the heart a little bit more forward. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Left toes turn back up. Right arm walks back around. Inhale. Bend into your lunge. Back knee lifts. Exhale, low lunge twist, left arm to the sky. Take an inhale. Top hand down, walk to the straddle. All 10 toes turn. Inhale here. Bend left knee, left hand moves to the left. Inhale, straighten both your legs. Exhale, bend right knee. Inhale. Both legs straight, left hand underneath your chest. Exhale, right arm up to the sky. Take a full breath here. Inhale. Top hand down. Exhale. Right toes are going back now to the front of the mat. Inhale here. And we step it forward. Exhale. Now, separate your feet a little bit. Bend your knees. And just let yourself kind of ragdoll over, letting the belly connect onto those thighs. If you want to take full ragdoll, you can bend the elbows and sway a little bit side to side. Feel how your breath adapts as you switch the direction from being typically upright to into a forward fold shape. Notice as your mind accepting of the hamstrings trying to open. Redirect the mind back to the breath. Fingertips release to the floor. Inhale, lengthen. And now exhale, step back into a kneeling position. Very good. Let's grab your blanket. Grab your blanket. And we're just going to use it as a little bit of a prop for our belly back bend. So you're going to take your blanket and you can fold it so it's in this rectangle shape. And then I'm going to fold it like kind of like a burrito. So I'm going to do a double fold. And then bringing forearms in front and belly on thigh, belly on the blanket. Belly on the thighs was the forward fold, which is still there at the moment, okay? All right, so the blanket is in between the rib cage and the frontal hip points. And then you're going to take your hands forehead towards the floor. Now, if that's too intense, you could put a block under your forehead so you don't go as low, okay? So if you need to do that, go ahead and do that. If your blanket is too thick of a roll, you may have to do an actual roll. This fold may not work. So just make sure it's basically under your rib cage, above your frontal hip points, so it's not on the bone. And then inhale, curl up into cobra, feeling the belly getting caught by that blanket, so that as you breathe, you're getting that feedback. And trying not to crank through the neck, you can just let your gaze be more down here, the back of your neck long. And you can come higher than you typically would if you try to go no hands, right? It's very light in the hands here. Push the pinky sides of the feet down into the floor. Take another breath. And release. Good, just pause. Now if that felt good, stay there. If you like, take your hands onto the fingertips. Take them out in line with your shoulders. And inhale, come up a little higher. Still feel the blanket. So I could come up and then I'm not connected to the blanket. So you're going to stay just a little lower. Good, and take another breath. And exhale, peel it back down. Bring your forearms now back into Sphinx. Forearms back onto Sphinx. Feet are hip distance apart. Good. And just take about 3 deep breaths. Gaze is straight forward. No strain in the neck, no strain in the gaze. Very quickly the body adapts to having that pressure. Take one more breath. Very good. Now tuck your toes. Push into those knees so you can lift your hips up and then walk your knees in. I'm going to scooch my blanket just a little bit further forward and then let my forehead come down and my arms just kind of resting so that my wrist creases kind of drape over that blanket. A little additional stretch for the shoulder. If that's too much, take the blanket out. Really allow the belly now to expand after having the compression. Really feel the belly. Inhale, inflates all the way. And then exhale. Again, inhale. Let it go, exhale. One more, breathe in. Release. Good. Now bring your hands back so your hands are on the blanket, elbows are on the mat, and then walk the hands back. Cross your ankles. Take your legs straight out in front of you. Now take your blanket and go ahead and bring it under your knees for a variation of Dandasana. Okay, variation of Dandasana with blanket under knees. And then inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Now, if you need an additional blanket, put it under your sit bones or just go ahead and pull that flesh out from under the sit bones. And here's where the strap, first time, maybe second time, coming in helpful. You can put the strap, if you're very flexible here, you can hold the feet. You could also put a blanket between your feet, a block between your feet, so you have something to hug into. You can use both, the blanket or the block and the strap. Feeling this big, massive stretch for the back body. Really good pose to open up that whole posterior chain. And a very detoxifying pose as we're compressing, laying the belly, kind of squeezing on the organs here a little bit. And some days I'll take the blanket, and we'll switch it in a moment. I'll give you an option to take the blanket under the belly, and we'll do that in a moment. And then inhale, bring it up. Now, you can keep it. We're going to stay another minute or so. Or you're going to take the blanket. I'm going to unroll mine a little bit and make my roll a little smaller because it's harder when you're in the forward bend versus when your body is straight. So just a tiny little roll. I am going to bend my knees again. I'm going to wrap my arms under my legs and forward fold. So a little different. Little added compression into the belly. We're taking familiar poses, just changing it ever so slightly. Noticing how quickly our body does adapt. The body and the mind, you just begin to notice, are they accepting? Some days yes, some days no. Good, and then release your bound arms under the legs. Inhale, press up. Blanket off to the side. Feet to the floor. I want you to take the block if you have one. Bring it between your inner thighs. Fingertips point towards your toes. And let's take a reverse tabletop. Inhale, just to help the tractioning the back with that block. Now if your shoulders are tight here, let your hips come down and turn your hands out. And then come back up. Squeeze the block. Lengthen your tailbone toward the back of your knees. Push into your hands. Lift your heart for 3, 2, really slow. Release. Come all the way down. 1. Block out. We're going to roll down onto the back. Make sure your strap and one block is handy. One block is handy. Now, if you have the strap, I want you to grab it. We did this pose a while ago. And you're going to take the strap. You're going to take the strap on your left foot. Okay, your left foot. And you're going to want to make sure that the buckle is not going to be on the thigh. And I'll show you what's happening here in just a second. So strap around the ball of the right foot. And now it's going to be a very big loop. Your right leg, you're going to take the strap and you want the buckle close so that if you need to tighten it, you can. But your right leg is actually going to sweep through. And you're going to bring the strap right to the hip crease and interlace the hands on the back of the hamstring. Now, if you do not have a strap, hopefully you have a wall in your house. If you have a door jamb, you can put this left leg through the door and then the right leg is up the wall. That's really nice. Now, if you don't have any walls like that in your house, then just come to a wall, put one foot, pretend my foot's all the way on the floor, okay? Just put one foot on the wall and the other leg, and you're just holding onto the back of the hamstring, okay? All right, see, I told you, you don't need to turn off the class. If you don't have a strap or a blanket, we can make all things work. All right, where were we? Some of you are just enjoying yourselves over here. All right. Holding onto the back of the right hamstring. We're all doing that part, okay? Unless you're in the door jamb, then the wall's doing it for you, and it's really delightful, okay? Hold closer towards the groin. So even if you're more flexible here and you could grab up towards your toe, I want you more in the belly of the hamstring so that you can hug your hands against your hamstring, hugging skin to muscle and muscle to bone, and then feel your quad, your outer right hip on the front leg, moving away from your right shoulder. Can you feel it? I probably can't see you doing it, but you can feel it against your hands when you're doing it. Push through your big toe mound on your left foot. Can you feel that outer tug? On your outer right hip, just a little bit. Draw your chin down. Reach through the four corners of your right foot and left foot. Take another breath. Keep hugging your hands against the hamstring. And then bend your knee in towards your chest. Bend your knee in towards your chest. Just pause for a moment. Hold on to the front of the left shin, right shin. Good. Now take the strap off your right leg. You can just let it stay draping on your left. And now, when relieving pose, right knee, right shoulder. Keep the strap just sort of dangling on that left foot because we're coming back to it, okay? Now, take hold of the strap with your left hand. It's still on your left foot. Bend your left leg in, and I want you to do a figure 4, but you're holding the strap, okay? You're holding the strap with your hands. Right ankle just above left knee, and then left leg is going to go up towards the sky. You're holding the strap now, one in each hand. It's really a beautiful part of the practice. I find I just kind of get mesmerized with the fact that shape by shape, right? Asana by asana by asana, our mind starts to become more present. It begins to adapt. And the more we are accepting of our body, of where it is today in this moment, not trying to compare it to someone else, not trying to even compare it to our practice yesterday, but just being here in this moment. The freedom, right, that comes. If it's helpful, put the strap in your right hand and take your left hand and just gently push your hand a little bit against your left thigh. Right hand's holding the strap against the left foot, and your left hand is just gently pushing thigh away from you. And then bend that leg in. Just let the strap just sort of either off to the side, or you lay it on your, lay it on the chest. Right knee now is going to cross right on top of left for Supta Gomukhasana. Holding the outer calves, the outer feet, or you can hold the inner heels. I'm going to go inner heels today. It just kind of feels good. The invitation is there in all yoga practices to adapt, to make these shapes truly be a release for your body. And I know we go to a class and obviously we guide you towards different things, but really what it's about is like learning your own body. It's about noticing what helps you be more accessible to the moment, feeling more accepting of yourself, accepting of your body. Begin to pull your feet. This is just, every cue is an invitation, right? Some are going to feel good, some are not. Some are there to push you a little bit, and some you may say, no, not today, and that's okay. Draw your feet closer towards your shoulders. As you draw your feet closer to your shoulders, try to roll your sitting bones towards the floor. Ooh. That's growth, friends, right there. That is growth. That is us moving through life, practicing when life is not comfortable. And it doesn't have to be comfortable, and we can still be okay. Good, and then let go of the feet. Oh, soles of the feet together. Supta Baddha Konasana. Wow. Those 3 poses, holy cow. Something's happening. Let the prana, let the energy just start to recirculate. Gently bring your knees up. I'm so excited to do the second side. Aren't you? I thought so. Okay. All right. Let's see. I got to make sure I got my legs right. Yeah. Okay. So strap is going on the right foot. You have to think about this first one because it's confusing that one leg is up, but it's the other leg that's going through. All right. So right leg is up in the strap to start. I kind of have it more on the arch really than the ball of the foot is where mine ends up falling into. Left leg is going to swing through. Bring it to the hip crease. Now you may find one leg is slightly longer or shorter than the other, and you may have to tighten or loosen your strap accordingly. Sometimes it's helpful to bring your left leg down a little bit because it can get caught on the flesh. So bring it down so you can really get it in that hip crease. Think knee to chest, like get it there. Keep pushing into your right foot and then extend the leg up. Hold on to the back of the hamstring. Remember your variations. You can go to the wall. You can, without the strap, you can go to a door. Hold on to the back of the hamstring. Hug skin to muscle, muscle to bone. Move the outer left hip away, and you can help with that by pushing through your big toe mound and your inner heel. That'll give a little tug on the strap. Deep, steady breath. Good, and then bend your knee in. Excuse me. You can let go with that right foot here for a second. Knee to chest. Holding on through that left leg. Now I'm holding the shin. The strap is off temporarily for a moment here. And then it's going to go back on your right foot. So hug the right leg in if you need to, if it kind of came off like mine did. Left ankle is going to hook above your right knee. Holding the strap in each hand now. Strap is on your right foot. Left knee is opening out to the left. Back of the neck is long. Stretching through the calf, the Achilles, the hamstring. You're having to work really deep internal muscles to keep this external rotation happening on this left leg because you're not using any elbows, you're not helping it out. This leg's really actually having to work quite a lot right now to keep the knee as best you can, not coming toward you, but moving as much as it'll go today away from you. And if you want to, now strap goes in left hand, both straps into the left hand. Right hand can push just for a couple breaths against your right thigh. Little micro bend in that right leg. And then bend that right knee so you can just get that strap off. Left knee is going to stay on top. Supta Gomukhasana. Sometimes I just giggle at how tight a side is. Like, oh my gosh, where's that foot? Here you go. The breath is here to help a sister out, though, or help brother out. Good. So settle into the breath. And what I love is that within literally a couple of breaths, the body adapts. I can feel a sense of acceptance, like, okay, this is where we're going. We got this. That internal encouragement. The internal encouragement, but also that internal sense of trust. What if we had more trust in our body's capacity to heal than we did in somebody prescribing something for us? And there are times where that is necessary, absolutely, but also believing in ourselves, believing in our body's capacity to come back to balance. One more breath. Very good. Let go of the feet. Oh. All right. Some of you are really flexible. In this supine form, my legs get a little tight. I'm going to take the strap and I'm going to take a wide-legged straddle. Okay? So you can start in a happy baby, and then some of you are going to be able to go ahead and just extend your legs out. I'm going to actually just keep my strap in this loop how it was because it kind of feels good. And you can take the legs out in your straddle. And what's nice about if you're using the strap is actually working those outer rotators a little bit because you're having to push into the strap. You can also unclasp it too. You don't have to work quite so hard. Take another breath. And then slowly bring back into happy baby. And then from happy baby, bring the soles of your feet together. Keep them in the air, but hold onto the outer edges of your feet. Think about your big toes moving towards your sternum. It's one of the first poses we did was a seated variation of Baddha Konasana. And our legs have been in flexion, so before we take Shavasana, both the hip creases have been in a lot of flexion. So let's just take the feet wide. This is just such a nice one to do. And cactus your arms, feet are wide, knees knock in, and then take your knees over to the right. I've kind of been in love with doing this near the end of my practices. I just feel like the thighs get so tight. If you have a different favorite hip opener, you do you. Okay, take it. If you want to hook your ankle, linger here as long as you can or want. Those of us that we're trying to stay around that hour mark, we're going to bring it back up and roll it over to the other side. Left ankle has the option to go on top of the right leg. Noticing the front body here. And also noticing how your back side, though, is holding it up. It's helping to open the heart. Lengthen your tailbone. Lift your pubic bone up a little bit more. Yes. Let the ankle unhook. Bring both knees up, back to center. Just pause, knees knocking in, feet are wide. Friends, if there's a final pose that you would love, some days it feels good and you could just take a moment for it. Sliding that block under on the lowest setting and just letting your legs extend out. So you just, again, we were in a lot of flexion. We were a lot of opening too in those final hip movements we did, but the hip creases were flexed most of the time. So
Just giving them a chance. Now, some people, this kind of cranks and makes the back uncomfortable. You can do it with just that blanket we used, or just lay on the ground. Like, take a shavasana, but if you want a little more, just stretch your arms over your head. So your body's like, it's not quite shavasana, but it's almost shavasana. Stay here as long as you like. Otherwise, when you're ready, feet to the floor, arms back by your sides, lift up through the hips, slide your block out, and extend your legs. Let's come to a shavasana shape. Now, if you want to take any of your props, like your blanket, and slide it under your knees, or you want to put your blanket along your spine to have a little more of a heart opener. You could even do legs up the wall. I want you to find your shape that feels good. And then close your eyes. Let your outer body feel the alchemy of the practice beginning to absorb and digest into your body. And when it's time to come out, you will hear me ring a soft bell 3 times.
and to come back. Moving your fingers, moving your toes. Let's stretch the arms up and over our head. Take a big full body stretch. Bend your knees, place your feet to the earth. We roll to the right side. Slowly bringing the body back up. Hands to heart. I'm going to ask you the question I asked at the beginning. Why do you practice? Why? And there are elements to our answers that I'm certain would allude to wanting freedom. Freedom in the body, freedom from our mind, freedom from our ego taking over, and for change. Learning how to be more adaptable. And these practices, they are a gift because what we see, this is so profound, what we see from my mentor Molly Guile, what we see depends on what we're looking for. And these practices help us so that we start to look for things that empower us, that lift us up, that move us forward, that grow us. What you see depends on what you're looking for. What are you looking for? That's why they say misery loves company, right? That is not us. This is not that crowd, family. So bringing thumbs up to third eye. Remembering why we practice is what keeps us coming back to this mat again and again, for we never want to give up on ourselves. Thank you for practicing today. It was my pleasure to be with you as always. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Thank you, thank you. Please share these. It's like the greatest thing you can do. And those of you that come, and I appreciate that too, that helps more people see it. I have started recording extra videos on YouTube that are going to start getting posted on Monday. They're shorter, so they're 20. Like yesterday, I recorded a 20-minute hip opener and a 30-minute heart opener. And so if you like and subscribe, it will alert you when those classes get posted. So they're not on Facebook. I'm trying to make extra ones that are a little shorter, so those days you don't have a ton of time, an hour-ish. So thank you, friends. Always a pleasure. I will see you next week, Monday and Wednesday. Flow and healing, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Santa's coming. Not yet. Okay. Anyway.